Is it just me, or did the Wednesday collector doll just come out last week? My name is Sophia and welcome to my doll collecting channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to the new Cinderella collector doll from American Girl. Now, I feel like the Wednesday collector doll just came out. I feel like it must have been like 2 weeks ago at max. Like, I literally feel like that doll just came out and we already have a new $300+ doll, which is just a little insane to me. If you know me and if you know my channel, you might know that I actually like the Disney line from American Girl. I think it's really cool. I'm not a huge fan of Disney, but I do like Disney. I do like certain Disney princess characters. For example, Frozen, Elsa and Anna, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, some other characters I like as well, but I'm not this super fan. So, and also I live in Canada, so that's another factor that goes into it. I feel like I bring it up in every video, but it does affect my collecting because the conversion rate is a lot, especially when you get into the higher price range of things. Especially when a doll's $300 US. That would be like, I'm just guessing at this point, like $450. I'm gonna Google it. According to Google, which might not be the most accurate, but it's the simplest way I can figure approximately how much it would be. $300 US would be $414.93 Canadian, so about $4.15 Canadian. So not as bad as I was thinking, but $400 for one doll is still pretty steep. I even think $300 Canadian is fairly steep. I would probably even venture to say $200 for a single doll is quite steep. That's just my opinion, and I mentioned this in my Wednesday video that the collector dolls are just becoming too expensive. I do like the Disney Playline dolls, and I'm glad there's that option instead of just the collector dolls, which is originally what they started as. I'm trying to remember who they released first. I think for the collector dolls, it was Jasmine, Rapunzel, and Belle. So the collector dolls, and people went crazy for them, love them, and then they ended up releasing the Playline a little while later. And that also brings in another topic of conversation because I don't know how I would feel. For example, and they did this in the past, they released the collector Belle doll, one of the first 3 dolls to be released in the Disney line, a Belle collector doll. Then a little while later, they released the Playline, and then shortly after that, they released Belle, the Playline doll. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, the Playline doll of Belle doesn't look that much different than the collector doll. The collector doll, if I remember correctly, just has a few roses on her. Let me just Google it. Now that I'm looking at the photos of the Belle dolls, I feel like I just Googled American Girl Belle doll, and the collector dolls versus the Playline dolls, I don't think they looked more different in my head, but now seeing them, they don't look that different at all. And in fact, I might even prefer the Playline version of the doll because her dress looks a little less shiny than the collector one. But yeah, now I think if I bought the Belle collector doll, which I would have considered, if I had the money, I would have considered Belle, I would be upset with the release of the Playline doll because she doesn't look that different. So I'm glad that they took that feedback with the Cinderella doll, but then it also, I could see other people being upset by this collector doll because if you're a Cinderella collector, which I have seen online, there is some people who have Cinderella collections and who love Cinderella. You may, depending on what type of collector you are, you may or may not be disappointed by this because it's not very true to the original version of Cinderella. Now the Playline Cinderella looks closer to the original concept or look of Cinderella. Now that being said, some Disney fans might come in my comments saying that originally Cinderella's dress in the original 1950 movie is, I can't remember if it's silver or white. And you can see it when you watch it. I mean, it depends on the edition, but if you watch older versions, it looks more white and silver than it does blue. They changed it to blue because it's easier to make merchandise and it makes it easier to kind of market. I don't want Disney fans, like super Disney fans, to get upset in my comments. I'm not trying to, say the wrong things. I'm just not a super Disney fan. But I can see how somebody who was a Cinderella fan maybe wouldn't buy this doll but get the Playline doll, because the Playline doll looks more accurate to what we think of when we think of Cinderella. Now, the redesign with the collector is not the most unheard of thing that I have seen, because Disney, you know, often releases collector dolls or even just dolls with redesigns. Sometimes they're dressed more modern, more high fashion, they always release new collections with different interpretations of the characters and the dresses that they would wear. So I'm not too surprised that Disney would do this, not something that's not entirely like the original Cinderella. So I'm not surprised that they redesigned it. And in a way, I would feel better about it if I was a Cinderella collector. And if I was, you know, if I liked both dolls, I would consider getting both dolls if I was a super fan of Cinderella. I think that I like that they're different, but I could see why other people would be upset that she doesn't look like the classic Cinderella. But then we kind of have the classic Cinderella with the Playline doll. The only thing that I really like, I really don't know if I like this, is the hairstyle. With this doll, she doesn't have the classic bun. She has kind of this, I don't know how to describe it, like a low, like a ponytail twist bun kind of thing. And I think it's a cute hairstyle. I do think she looks very princess-like. I don't know if I 100% see Cinderella, like official Disney Cinderella. If I saw this in a movie, let's say, about different fairy tale characters, and this was Cinderella, I would see, oh, that's a reference to Disney Cinderella, but I wouldn't think it's a direct copy. If that, I hope that analogy makes sense. Like when you watch fantasy shows, they sometimes have references to Disney, but they change it up enough so they don't get in legal trouble. That's kind of the vibes I get from this, which is interesting because they do have the official Disney license. Overall, I like the detail of the doll's dress. I think she has some very nice, you know, crystals placed nicely on her dress. And I do like kind of the, I don't know how to describe it, the loops or the curly cues or whatever word you want to use to describe kind of the center of the dress. I think that that's a nice detail. Overall, I do really like the design of the dress. I think it's really cute, but she doesn't have the puff sleeves. I've just noticed this now. She has kind of these off the shoulder sleeves, which it's a cute design is what I meant to say. And I like it. I do really like it. I can see why, like, if you look at Cinderella, the drawing that's on the box, it looks different than what the doll is actually wearing. So it's almost as if it's a redesign, which is interesting because the Belle Playline doll versus the Belle Collector doll, there wasn't very much of a redesign. So I'm kind of, I don't know how to feel about it, because it's like, are we making the collector dolls more like an upgraded Playline version, or are they like reimagining? Maybe they're just trying out different things. Maybe the Belle doll, maybe that was a complaint they had. So they're trying to elevate it to make them different enough that you want to buy both of them, which is fair. That's the purpose of a company. Overall, this doll is very cute. If she was a Playline doll or the cost of a Playline doll, I might consider her, because she looks, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, I actually kind of like this doll. The design is really nice. It's just, it's a little bit of a shock when you see $300 American. But these dolls must be selling, or else they wouldn't have just released a Wednesday collector doll and this Disney doll, like not even a month after each other. Like, imagine if you wanted both dolls. That would be expensive. Imagine if you already bought the Wednesday doll, which is now sold out, and then you see the Cinderella doll and you want her more. Like, that would be a little crazy. I saw some people saying that the quality of the materials don't look like it's worth $300. And to be honest with you, I don't know what to say about that, because I like the design. I think it's a very, like, it doesn't look cheap or not of good quality. Like, I think it looks fine. It's just, I think $300 in general is just too steep for me. But I'm glad it does, in my opinion, look more elevated than the Playline doll, which is what it's supposed to do because it's a collector doll. Does she have earrings? Oh, I like her earrings. They're kind of cute. And her little choker necklace is cute. Overall, I kind of like, oh, also the ombre of the top part of her dress going down. Overall, I'm not too upset with this doll. I think she's well designed, and I'm glad she just looks different from the Playline doll. in my opinion. But I also think it's a lot to release the Wednesday doll and then release this doll. Like, is there gonna be another doll in another 2 weeks? Like, maybe they're trying to lead up to Christmas. Maybe this holiday season is gonna have a lot of releases. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's enough talking. I think I said everything I wanted to say. If you have any opinions, leave it in the comment section below because I would love to hear it. I would love to hear your opinions on this doll. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Just leave whatever you think, because I do feel conflicted about this doll because I definitely see some pros and cons of this doll. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. You can also follow my Instagrams and check out some of my other videos. I do have a Wednesday reaction video that you can check out. And yeah, just thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you're here, and hopefully you're having a good summer so far. So yeah, bye for now.